Let's get it.
Skip Bayless is the most hated man.
He be hating on LeBron, man. Why
you either love him or hate him. There is no in between. His strong views.
Then I met my wife, Ernestine. On our first date, as she will attest, I said, hey, if this happens to go anywhere, I'm sorry, but I'm declaring myself up front. You'll always be number 2 to my job.
And outrageous allegations have caused a lot of backlash towards Skip. And through his 40-year career, he has created a lot of enemies.
Y'all feel like it's a bad thing what he just said? Because he said no matter like how far this go or no matter we end up in a relationship or we get married or whatever, you will always be number 2 to my like profession and my job. I feel like every man feel that deep down, but they not want to say it because they don't want to hurt their wife or their significant other feelings. Like my work come first. Like you can't do nothing but respect that, you know. But I know it's a touchy subject because some people might feel like, oh, your wife come first or your girl come first. But like God, like my work though. You know what I'm saying? So let me know how y'all feel about that. But let's continue.
The way. So let's discuss some of his most notable beefs, including ones that went way too far.
I'm better at life than you.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Starting with the man Skip has hated his whole career, LeBron James. This beef stands apart from the rest in this video because it's not a typical back and forth exchange. In fact, it's entirely one-sided, with Skip Bayless targeting LeBron for over 2 decades, while LeBron has chosen to stay
dedicated.
silent. When LeBron was in his first MVP season in 2009, no sports media reporter during that time had ever said anything bad about LeBron, who was seen as the golden child of the NBA for years, helping the league boost viewership. Well, nobody other than Skip Bayless. After LeBron lost in the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals, Skip would unleash his earliest signs of hatred towards LeBron.
I think the MVP suddenly realized when the clock ran out that he had failed miserably.
And when LeBron refused to shake Dwight Howard's hand after losing the series, Skip had some words.
This was, to me, the real LeBron James. This is who he is, and to me, who he has been. This is the spoiled brat product of those billions of witnesses out there. This is the guy I've been talking about as he's been the front-running bully all year long, and he finally got punched right in the mouth, and he ran to the locker room in shame.
LeBron definitely didn't help himself when the next year he lost in the Eastern Conference Finals.
But the intangibles are much closer to Robin. He's Robin more than he's Batman. He's Pippen more than he's Jordan. I thought he shamed the number 23, the last.
Oh, he said he shamed the number 23. What I don't get though, why everybody keep saying like he's Pippen to Jordan, but a lot of people don't know. Well, a lot of people do know, but they don't never bring it up. Jordan never won a championship without Scottie Pippen. He didn't start winning until Scottie got there. Now, for all the Jordan fans, don't come at me. I'm just speaking of facts. And did I lie? Y'all can't say I lied. He ain't start winning championships until Scottie got there. But let's continue.
Games, and that's my legacy for him right now. He's the fake MJ. But come postseason time, he's the most overrated, overhyped superstar in my history in this business. Seriously.
Damn, Skip.
And then in 2011, LeBron had his worst performance of his career against the Mavericks.
I remember this.
Losing that series in 6 games. Something that still haunts LeBron to this day.
That shit burns me to this day.
But you already know Skip Bayless was going to have a field day.
Games 4, 5, and 6 against the Dallas Mavericks, disappeared, ran from the basketball, wanted no part of the pressure of trying to close out an inferior Dallas Mavericks team. That was one of the most shocking upsets in NBA history, certainly in the finals.
So after hating on LeBron for the past 3 years and saying that he lacks the clutch gene and winning mentality, and being right each time, Skip looked like the smartest man on television, a far cry of how he's viewed today. This marked a turning point when Skip changed from being obnoxious and often right to obnoxious and endlessly hating on LeBron just to boost viewership. It was around this time that fans could see Skip was obsessed with LeBron. Once LeBron won his first championship in 2012 against the Thunder, Mark Cuban, the owner of the same Mavericks that beat LeBron the year prior, confronted Skip about his antics.
Right, you guys like to talk in complete generalities where no one can question you, right? You don't ever use facts. You don't ever use substance. You don't ever
use facts.
No.
That's all I use on this show.
He's talking about that's all I use.
Pressure, undeniable this. You know, it's just all generalities.
The internet was saying Mark Cuban kicked my ass, that Mark Cuban made me look foolish. But the truth was, the foolishness was coming from Mark Cuban's mouth. I just wasn't fighting back.
When LeBron signed with the Lakers, Skip was convinced his career was over and that LeBron would never win another championship.
Lakers will win the title next year.
Really?
I want 50 cases of due on it right now.
Okay,
Ooh, that nigga Shannon sound confident. He was right too.
Accepted 50 cases on the Lakers winning the title.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay.
If, in fact, your man LeBron is able to carry these Lakers to a title, to the championship, to the chip, at age 35, I will come out here not only in a 23 Laker jersey, but I'll get me a, what did he call it, a fake little wig.
But what many don't realize is that LeBron has in fact publicly addressed Skip in 2 tweets in 2011 and 2012. Stephen A and Skip are great for sports. Even though I personally don't agree with a lot they say, they have their own opinions. How do you feel about Skip Bayless? I don't feel anything. Never met or seen him a day in my life. Great for TV. But those are the only times LeBron has addressed Skip Bayless in a respectful, calm manner.
And respectfully, if I was LeBron, I wouldn't even respond to these guys. Like they wasn't good. They wasn't that good at basketball, which is why they now do like sports journalism and all that kind of shit. Like I think Stephen A. Smith averaged like 1.3 points a game in high school. Like you wasn't that good. So honestly, I don't give a damn about your basketball takes because you wasn't good at the sport that I'm great at. So I don't give a fuck about. I wouldn't pay that shit no mind if I was LeBron, but that's me personally. But let's continue.
Definitely not the same as Stephen A. Smith.
Are you on
Donate it
drugs?
to charity.
Are you on drugs?
If you watch my video on the many beefs of Stephen A. Smith, you would already know about the history between him and Skip Bayless. But I'll still discuss it in this video, just from Skip Bayless's point of view. In the midst of Skip's tirade on LeBron before he won a ring, Stephen A. joined First Take and became the first person to match Skip's energy, which resulted in these iconic moments.
Tied the all-time finals record for most turnovers in a
Get to your
final.
point.
Okay.
What are you gonna say, Skip? What are you gonna say?
LeBron James was great, but Kyrie was more valuable in this series. Kyrie averaged
said-
31 a game over the last 4 games, and it's when he scored those baskets. And I love Derrick Rose off the floor. I don't love him on the floor. I do not love.
What? What?
I do not love
What is wrong with
my
you?
point guard to be such a high volume shooter that he
Oh
is.
my Lord.
He shoots it.
Oh my, you should be banned from
He's
talking
like-
basketball.
Naturally, the ratings for First Take skyrocketed, thanks to Stephen A.'s new role, boosting the viewership up 58% from the previous year. However, when 2016 came around, so did the end of Skip's contract with ESPN. So, Skip abandoned Stephen A., taking a 4-year, $24 million deal to join Fox Sports and appear on his new show,
Skip and
Undisputed,
Shannon.
with Shannon Sharp, leaving a bad taste in Stephen A. Smith's mouth.
Did your relationship with Skip ever fracture? Was there any contentiousness there?
Never. The only time anything came close to that was when I knew he was leaving before he told me. And I was like, what the hell's going on? You know, and so I confronted him because for better or worse, I'm a straight up guy. You know, if I work with you and all of a sudden I'm leaving, you ain't gonna find out from somebody else.
This was probably around the time that Stephen A.
respect
started
that.
plotting his revenge on Skip Bayless, which will take place a few years down the line. After Skip left Stephen A., not much happened between the two. They both had their own shows alongside their new co-host, Max Kellerman and Shannon Sharp. That was until Skip decided to say some things which would ultimately cause Shannon Sharp to leave Undisputed.
No matter how much longer I was on the show, how much longer I was going to be at FS1, that level of disrespect wouldn't be tolerated.
But we'll get into that shortly when we discuss the beef between Shannon Sharp and Skip. And remember when I said Stephen A. was plotting his revenge on Skip? Well, this is when he executed.
Let me revisit a conversation that I had last week, or a discussion that I had last week about Shannon Sharp real quick. I respect the brother. If he wants to come on First Take, I'm here for it. I support him. Mr. Shannon Sharp will be joining the crew He will be joining First Take. It is official. Shannon Sharp is coming to First Take. He will debut.
This left Skip Bayless all by himself, trying to replace Sharp with people like Kayshawn Johnson, Michael Irvin, Richard Sherman, Rachel Nichols, and Paul Pierce. But to no surprise, ratings for Undisputed plummeted. In the first 3 months of Shannon Sharp on First Take, they averaged 554,000 viewers, while Undisputed garnered only 120,000, ultimately leaving Skip no choice but to leave Fox Sports. Considering that Skip Bayless will do anything for clicks, it might not come as a surprise that with his beef with this next person, things went so far to the point that wives got involved. Without a doubt, this beef between and Russell Westbrook is personal. However, according to Skip, this is Russ's fault. See, Skip Bayless grew up in Oklahoma and naturally was a Thunder fan. So when he criticised then OKC guard Russell Westbrook for taking too many shots away from Kevin Durant, he said he received death threats from OKC fans on his return to the city because he criticised Westbrook and his performances.
I had to return to my hometown with a bodyguard because those Thunder fans, my people, loved Russell Westbrook so much.
The bodyguard is crazy.
I am taking abuse like you wouldn't believe. F you, Skip. Go home. I am home. All about Russell Westbrook. As I'm debating with Stephen A., I glance sideways, and guess who's about 10 feet away, smirking at me and sizing me up? It's Russ, sizing me up, kind of smirking and laughing at me. So you're the guy who criticized me, who dares to criticize me? Huh. And you're in my house? But he was just sending the message, you ain't bleed.
But things didn't go too far until Westbrook joined the Lakers in 2021, when Skip reacted with numerous tweets. LeBron's Lakers just got worse. Now the Lakers have a backcourt of Westbrook and LeBrick, a nightly airball display. And to an extent, he was right, because the Lakers were terrible with Russ on the team, with the Lakers not even making the playoffs in 2021. And after trading Russ in the middle of the 2022-23 season, the Lakers made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. So, when Russ was in the middle of his terrible play with the Lakers, Skip used this to his advantage on Undisputed.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our daily ritual here on Undisputed, the Russell Westbrook turnover tape. Here we go. We got all 7 of them. What is that? Russ, what are you thinking there? Where you're missing 12 shots and you're turning the ball.
Holy shit, Russell?
Help me out. That just got blocked. Russ.
I forgot it was this bad.
Double pump. You missed everything long. And then here we go. Russ, what are you doing?
However,
man,
when
Russ
the
out
Lakers
there
drafted
trolling.
Max Christie, Skip Bayless felt the need to express his feelings. Lakers acquired a second-round pick. Take Michigan State's Max Christie, who shot only 32% from 3 last season. Perfect, he'll fit right in with LeBron and Westbrook. But this is when Russ would fall into the trap that Skip was hoping for, responding to him. Yo, watch your mouth. Don't say anything here you wouldn't say to my face. Amazing and amusing how Russell Westbrook is trying to turn himself into a victim after he was such a nightmare for Laker Nation last year. All he has to do to shut up us critics is simply to make shots and quit committing sadly comical turnovers. But it's critics' fault.
Skip Bayless, you could run across Russ in public and get slapped.
Ooh,
it could happen. In real life. It could happen.
And I'm sure he's aware of that.
Yeah, so that's a chance you take, for being someone who talks, reckless like that.
And the nickname Westbrook that Skip proudly claims to have created years ago has been used so much by fans that it started affecting Russell Westbrook's family, specifically his wife, who tweeted this: "When I'm being harassed on a daily basis over basketball games, and I'm having obscenities and death wishes for me and my family sent my way because you're expressing your truth, it's hard for me to get on board with that." And surprisingly, Westbrook's wife personally called out Skip on her IG story. I just found out that Skip Bayless blocked me on Twitter, as though I'm the one constantly harassing him and calling him out of his name. Mr. Bayless, I'm a real person. If you're able to use your platform to degrade my husband and constantly call him out of his name, then at least be adult enough to deal with the consequences of your actions. Don't try to erase me from your reality to make yourself feel better about your choices. I'm still here. There's no need to block me. Just be respectful, and I have no reason to respond or remind you of your reckless choices. just do better?
I think, for one, I 100% stand behind my wife and how she's feeling, because it's not just about this year. Right now, she's reached a point, and my family has reached a point to where it's really weighing on them. And it's very unfortunate when it comes to basketball. I don't mind
that is crazy.
criticism of missing and making shots, but the moment it becomes where my name is getting shamed. For example, Westbrook to me is now shaming, like it's shaming my name. It's my legacy for my kids. It's a name that means more, not just to me, but to my wife, to my mom, my dad. Every time I do hear it now, I will make sure that I address it and make sure that I nip that in the butt.
However, when Russ finally left the Lakers and got traded to the Clippers, Westbrook said he was never given a fair chance while he was on the Lakers. And this left Skip Bayless amazed.
In all my years of watching this sport, heck, of watching every sport very closely, I have never ever seen a player as defiantly delusional as this player. And as I watched last night, mesmerized by the delusion, it teetered between funny and sad.
Yes.
Because at times it just gets flat out sad. Russell Westbrook has loser intangibles. It's not about winning, it's about starring, it's about statting. It's impossible to win with Russell Westbrook at the NBA level.
Recently though, Russ has beat the allegations of not being able to win because on his now team, the Denver Nuggets, they are 26-16. And a big part of that is because of Russ. Not only did Russ come out on top in this beef, making Skip Bayless look stupid, a similar situation happened in this next beef between Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe.
Now, before we get to this Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless beef, I remember when Russell Westbrook was on the Lakers, it wasn't pretty at all. I mean, I used to watch it. I used to watch the game and be like, man, what is Russell thinking? Why he keep turning the ball over? Why he keep missing? I mean, he was just airballing shots. I was like, man, what? This is not the Russell Westbrook I remember from OKC, because I remember one year with OKC, he averaged a triple-double for a whole season. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, he was playing great. And then when he got to the Lakers, it was like, I couldn't recognize him. I damn near thought he was cloned or something. But we about to get to this video. I mean, we about to get to the Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless beef. Let's get it.
What happened between these two was much more intense, ultimately ending Skip's career. Shannon Sharpe, who was an NFL Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and known for being one of the best tight ends in NFL history, had worked as a commentator for CBS for a decade after he retired, until he was let go in 2014. So for 2 years, Shannon was unable to find a permanent role in the sports media industry. That was until Skip Bayless offered him a chance on his new show, Undisputed. I take my hat off to Skip. He went to bat for me. There were some higher-ups who didn't think I could get the job done. Skip told them, I know he can do it. I believe in him. My job is to prove Skip right, so I'm as prepared as I can possibly be. But the most important thing Skip told me when I got this job was, I want you to be you.
When Skip left ESPN to come here, he wanted me to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
But Fox and FS1, they wanted another journalist guy. Because before me, all the guys that did this daily, if you look at all the other shows, they're all journalist background. And it was like, well, Skip, we really think? Skip says, nope, I want him. Well, Skip, let's see. Skip says, no. Skip says, I don't want to interview with anybody. I don't want to do anything. I want him. So Skip went to bat for me.
It's big.
That's
Let's
real.
just say everybody
What's wrong with him?
wouldn't have done what Skip done.
And with the mix between these two loudmouth, hot-headed personalities, it was only a matter of time until they gave us some iconic moments.
You know, don't bother me now. You know, I got to pour up, drink, headshot, drink, drink.
Well, why are you
sit down,
drinking
drink.
Diet Dew?
Whoa,
Well, wait a second.
Go King, go King.
I want to thank you for paying homage to the great Michael Jordan today by wearing that gold mask.
Come on, you do it, Skip. Now, I told you, Skip Bayless, I didn't want to do this. Now, I told you, Club Shay Shay is really known for entertainment.
And to begin with, it seemed like the two could coexist, since they were the second biggest debate show in America, just behind First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. But as time would go on, A number of times we could see Skip Bayless interrupting Shannon Sharpe over and over again. Most fans thought that their arguments were crazy at times, but at the end of the day was just entertainment and not personal. That was until Skip took a shot at Shannon's NFL career, where Shannon Sharpe looked genuinely pissed at Skip.
Wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Skip, that's what you
That's
do.
the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I
so
got 3
what?
Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than
way
you.
Better.
Skip, what did I got to see what you do? You take personal shots.
No,
for
I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal.
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish?
Yeah, that was personal.
You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your
you
dignity.
You disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off,
I'm
bro.
going to have at it because I'm going to have at you.
Then this motherfucker, when he went, put your glasses back on. Who the fuck are you to tell me to put my glasses on? And then he said, I'm gonna come at you. I'm gonna have at you. Man to man, in the real world, outside of that studio, that pale ass white dude would have never talked to that dude like that. He'd have never done it.
With the relationship between Skip and Shannon already on thin ice, Skip would say something that led to Shannon leaving undisputed. When NFL player Damar Hamlin collapsed in the middle of a game and fought for his life on the field, it was a terrifying moment. Thankfully, he has since recovered and is doing well now. But directly after this incident happened, Skip made this tweet that got over 170 million views and 96,000 comments
I ain't know it got that many
disagreeing
views.
with what he had to say. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant, which was a very different way his co-host Shannon Sharpe addressed the situation. Please keep Damar Hamlin and his family in your thoughts and prayers. NFL doesn't have a manual on how to proceed after an incident like this. So after all this drama unfolded, Skip and Shannon still had to do Undisputed the next day. However, Shannon didn't show up. The outlet reports Sharpe skipped today's show because he was upset with Skip's tweet. So after taking a one-day hiatus from Undisputed, Shannon Sharpe did return and tried to address the situation. And still, Skip Bayless couldn't help but interrupt him.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture or innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
This nigga always, bro. Skip, why you always, bro? Why you always interrupting? Let the man talk. You can't let him talk. Like, golly, he always gotta put his 2 cents in something every time. Like, we didn't ask you nothing, Skip. He talking right now, and he just trying to, he trying to address the Undisputed family on why he missed the show, and you sitting up here trying to interrupt every time he open his mouth. What a shame, Skip. What a fucking shame.
Do a monologue without you interrupting me.
Putting an end to all of this, Shannon Sharpe left Undisputed to join First Take with Stephen A. Smith.
Basically, Skip would get to work, I would get to work. I was in my dressing room, he was in his dressing room. It was really like a heavyweight fight. We barely talked. I mean, honest to God. We might say hello, we go to the bathroom. If we're passing each other in the bathroom, hello, that was it.
Likely putting an end to Skip Bayless's career as a sports commentator, since he has now left his longtime show, Undisputed. However, Skip Bayless doesn't only have beef with NBA players and co-workers, because in 2013, Skip said some things about NFL player Richard Sherman, resulting in a heated exchange on First Take. In 2013, NFL cornerback Richard Sherman was in his second season playing for the Seattle Seahawks. And not only had he established himself as one of the best cornerbacks in the league, earning a first-team All-Pro selection, but also as one of the biggest trash talkers in the NFL. So when Sherman got the opportunity to face Skip Bayless on First Take, after hearing Skip say he wasn't the best cornerback in the league, he seized the moment and didn't hold back.
Skip can say whatever he wants, but Skip, whenever you refer to me, whenever you speak to me, whenever you address me as All-Pro Stanford graduate, because those are some accomplishments you can aspire to, you will never accomplish. You have never accomplished anything.
Okay, I'll accept that.
I'll accept that.
Accomplished more in my field than you have in yours, though you're just getting started.
So I'm the top of my field. So I'm All-Pro. I'm the best, one of the best 22 players in the NFL. You're going to brush it off, but I don't think you're the best 22 anything. In my 24 years of life, I'm better at life than you.
Okay.
So
Holy
let's get down to
let's not get personal here.
Because I understand that. I am intelligent enough, capable enough to understand that you are ignorant, pompous, egotistical, cretin. And that's really what it comes down to. And I'm going to crush you on here in front of everybody because I'm tired of hearing about it.
But funny enough, after Shannon Sharpe left Undisputed in 2022, leaving Skip Bayless to decide who would replace him, one of the people who stepped into the role was none other than Richard Sherman, which gave them both the opportunity to discuss the situation that happened a decade prior.
I reach for, well, Richard's been saying that he's already better than Darrelle Revis. And I said, I don't see that yet, not yet.
All I can hear is the disrespect in my ear. Skip, I'm sitting there like, not even like, hey, he's in the same ballpark or, he's coming on or he's like, he's not even in the same stratosphere. I said, okay, this is disrespect, Skip. Skip, I'm gonna have to respond to this as soon as possible. So when I got on the show, it was like the first chance I get. I don't care the question. I'm dropping it.
You came hard. Okay.
This doesn't mean that the story between these two would stop here, because in the end, Richard Sherman wasn't that good of an addition.
Let me finish, Richard. I'm speaking. Thank you.
I'll let you speak, but you're not speaking from experience. So stop raising your voice, Skip. Okay. Talk to me, Skip.
All right. Are you gonna let me speak or not?
Well, you're speaking on something you don't have no experience doing. So, I mean, what point can you really make?
I've covered the game for a lot longer than you've been alive.
You've covered the game. Yeah. I've actually played the game longer than you ever played. So, like, what we're talking about is something that actually happens in the game that you can't experience unless you play it.
As one fan put it, the problem with Richard Sherman is that he takes his debates about sport personally. As viewers, we aren't looking for an actual heated debate. We want a heated debate that we know isn't personal. Our lives are already filled with negativity from work, the news, and general stress. There lies Richard Sherman's problem, and it's why I can't watch the show anymore while he's on. And ever since Richard Sherman was arrested for DUI in February of 2024, he hasn't appeared on Undisputed since the arrest. And well, we'll never see him on Undisputed again, as the show was cancelled at the end of 2024, putting an abrupt stop to their relationship that potentially could have been restored if they worked together for a longer amount of time. But while Richard Sherman had the opportunity to squash his beef with Skip Bayless, the same can't be said with Kevin Durant. Although being Skip Bayless's favourite player, every time Kevin Durant talks about Skip Bayless, it is never in a positive manner.
Donate plasma today and receive up to $700 your first month. CSL Plasma. Do the amazing.
And I've said many times to you, he is my favorite player in the league. But repeatedly, when I've tried to help him or protect him or defend him, he responds by attacking me.
This beef starts back in 2012, when Skip Bayless took shots at a young Westbrook for taking more shots than Kevin Durant. Skip viewed this as his way of backing up KD, but Kevin Durant did not see it this way.
Yeah, he's not going to see it like that because that's his teammate, obviously. Like, you can't attack his teammate and then expect him to be like, oh, yeah, Skip, I agree with you. Like, no, like, that's his teammate. Like, that's somebody he go to war with every day on a basketball court. You can't expect them to agree with you, bro.
And what did Kevin do to me? Me! Your biggest fan.
Me!
Kevin, you can't. Kevin Durant blasted me to the Oklahoman, the paper that covers in Oklahoma City, the paper I grew up reading. It was in the Daily Oklahoman, covers the Thunder. Darnell Mayberry was the beat writer, called over Darnell, blasted me. That guy doesn't know anything about basketball, said Kevin Durant. What? Yeah, I do. You know I do.
In 2016, when KD joined the 72-9 Warriors after losing to them in the Western Conference Finals, it was seen as the weakest move in NBA history, and social media hated him for it, with fans finding old tweets from KD, like this one. Now everybody want to play for the Heat and the Lakers? Let's go back to being competitive and going at these peoples. And even though every sports commentator hated KD's decision, they liked Skip Bayless, backing up his favorite player.
Kevin Durant was stuck in an impossible situation for Kevin Durant with Russell Westbrook. Kevin finally realized that Russ, as the point guard, gets to make every decision every time up the floor. Every shot that Kevin got to take in Oklahoma City had to start with Russell's decision to let him get that shot, right? Correct.
Fast forward to 2021, where Kevin Durant scored 51 points while he was on the Nets. Skip had to show some appreciation. The best player on the planet was at it again tonight in Brooklyn, going assassin in overtime for the COVID-rocked Nets. Nothing like Kevin Durant. You watched, Bron? ? But KD didn't see this in a nice way, responding with a few blunt words. I really don't like you. Up until the present day, not much has happened.
He do not like this man, bro.
Besides that time, KD posted this TikTok.
Yo, how I work this?
And Skip Bayless, for some reason, remains on his knees for Kevin Durant. Hey Kevin Durant, I loved your first TikTok. Exactly. And I get your tweet about never arriving with a ball, but that you've gone home with one. You've always been more clutch than LeBron. I have your back as usual. Now, feel free to rip me as usual. But to fully understand how crazy Skip Bayless is as a media personality, you're gonna wanna watch this next video and see the difference between Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith.
Alright, that's going to do it for the video. If y'all enjoyed that reaction video, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe to Lincoln Argus. Man, this was a great put together video. And we about to get out of here, man. This was the mini beefs of Skip Bayless. Skip. That man, he crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Skip and Shannon, they was a crazy duo. Like, it was one of the, arguably, I ain't gonna lie, they was the best duo on TV, like debating sports in general. Like they just had a connect. Like they just had a different kind of chemistry. Like it was so funny. Like they had some great moments together. But we about to get out of here. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out of here.